The article we chose talked about the hijab removal by police officers in New York City. So 2 women, Jamila Clark and Arwa Aziz, were photographed after being detained without their hijabs. Their hijab is a symbol of their connection to their faith and their modesty. This is a violation of privacy and their identity. In Muslim culture, women do not take off their hijabs unless they are with family. The women reported feeling naked, betrayed, and broken. The 2 women decided to take legal action and file a class action civil rights suit for violating their religious rights under both the First Amendment, stating that they have the right to practice any religion that they want, and the federal law. The local police state that they have a rule stating that they must remove all head coverings when they are taking photographs. The lawsuit is also fighting for removal of this local policy, since it violates their religious beliefs. It's interesting to note that head covering removals are not required for passport photos, license photos in New York, and state police have shared that they allow for head coverings to stay on when photographing arrestees, as long as the head coverings aren't covering any of their face. If you're interested, a link to the full lawsuit is in the link below. Arwa Aziz was arrested for violating an order of protection. While weeping as the photograph was being taken, the surrounding male prisoners turned away in respect for her. Once Jamila Clark was photographed without her hijab, several male officers stared at the photos as she stood crying. She stated that this completely broke her. Islam is the second largest religion today. Over more than 1.6 billion people associate themselves with being Muslim. Muslims believe in one God and follow the sacred text of the word God, the Quran. They believe in 6 pillars of faith: belief in oneness of Allah, belief in the prophets of God, belief that God revealed the Quran for guidance, belief in angels, belief in life after death and Judgment Day, belief in Al-Qadar. Muslims practice their religion in a mosque, where the prayers are always done in Arabic language. When praying, Muslims face one way towards Mecca in Saudi Arabia, which is the holy city in Islam, which is the birthplace of the founder of the Islamic religion, Prophet Muhammad. It's important to note the 5 key beliefs in Islam. There is one God, there are angels, there have been many prophets, but only one message, there will be a final judgment, and it is possible to know God and God's will in this life. The required rituals in Islam are Shahada, which states there is no God but Allah and that Muhammad is his prophet. Salat, which is praying 5 times a day to Mecca. Zakat, giving alms. Siyam, participating in the feast of Ramadan. And Hajj, making a pilgrimage to Mecca once in their lives. The 4 major forms of Islam. Shiism, form of Islam that believes that the Prophet wanted his son-in-law, Ali, to be his successor. Sunnism, which is a form of Islam that believes the Prophet Muhammad wanted his close friend, Abu Bakr, to be his successor. Sufism, form of Islam that believes that God is everywhere and in everything. They put emphasis on the feeling of God's love and less on strict rules to follow. And lastly, Nation of Islam, a form of Islam that is a North American expression of the Muslim religion, provides a religious tradition that is closer to African roots. Since 1975, it has become closer to traditional Islamic beliefs and practices. In week 2 of this class, we watched a documentary called What is Islam? In this documentary, they discussed ablution, wudu, and separation among genders in this religion. Before praying, Muslims undergo a cleaning exercise called ablution, which is where they wash different parts of their body. They believe washing the body cleanses their 5 senses to be highly sensitized. This helps them fall into a deep concentration that is needed to pray to Allah. Wudu is where they perform the washing. Genders are separated in this process unless they are married. Muslims believe that people are not allowed to see other women uncovered unless it is their spouse. They believe this is the way Allah prescribed. As you remember from watching the documentary, Separation starts early in childhood and is carried out until marriage. Parents try and keep their daughters pure and protected. It has been said that women are seen as a temptation. The hijab symbolizes modesty, privacy, and a connection to one's faith. These two women are fighting for their rights of religion, which were violated, and for any women who have had to go through this in the past. After 9/11, Americans learned more about Muslim beliefs and practices. Some began to educate themselves on the faith as a whole, while others, unfortunately, began to listen to stereotypes of Muslims. New York City is full of Americans that are afraid and hostile toward Muslim Americans. Police officers in this case are fighting that they were just following their station's rules. However, the case states that this rule is a complete violation of their religious rights. The stereotypes and fears and hostility towards Muslim Americans should cause the city's law enforcement to increase its sensitivity and awareness towards Muslim Americans.